Elephant. This is BlueBrixx set 107605. It was released in June 2024 for about €50. This construction block set consists of 1123 pieces, which are compatible to bricks by other building blocks companies like Lego, Mega, Kobe, and so on. As you can see, this set depicts a simple African elephant, so nothing from a movie franchise or from a TV series, and because of that, I guess this set won't be that interesting for too many people. I'm quite sure that kids wouldn't pick this set, but the set might be something grandparents would love to buy for their grandkids. And I personally really like elephants, so I'm looking forward to build this set. This is a BlueBrixx Pro set, so in contrast to the special sets, this set comes with some kind of box art. We get to see some colors and we get to see the completed build on the front. On the back side of the box, we get to see this huge brick-built animal from other perspectives. And we also get to know the size of the completed build. It's going to be 19.7 centimeters by 29 centimeters by 18.7 centimeters. This is a BlueBrixx Pro set, so like it's almost always with the BlueBrixx Pro sets, this set is manufactured by Xingbao, and this means most of the bricks will come with quite ugly injection holes. But when we have a look here at the completed build, it also seems that almost all of the studs are covered. The injection holes won't be visible once the build is complete. Well, but let's take a look if the bricks really come with injection holes. Let's get the stuff out of the box. It's a Pro set, and this means we get printed building instructions. Sadly, there are no digital instructions. When we open the instructions, we can see that this set consists of 4 building sections. And here we get to see the bricks. They come pre-sorted to each of the building sections, which means all these bags here have a number on them, from number 1 to number 4. So this is part of the first building section, this is part of the third building section, and so on. And yeah, just as I expected, these Xingbao bricks come with injection holes that don't look very beautiful. They are way too huge, these little craters, and I'm happy that we can cover all of them, that the studs won't be visible. Oh, and have a look here. We also get a brick separator with the set. And yeah, it's the typical Xingbao brick separator, it's a giraffe. At least this time it's somehow fitting that we get a giraffe here. It's always strange with the Star Trek sets when there suddenly this giraffe brick separator appears. Well, then I'm going to open now all the bags with the number 1 on them, and then I will start with the first building section with step 1-1. I will come back to you as soon as I see something interesting or something simply doesn't work as shown in the instructions. Step 1-3. In this step we are using pieces which, for example, the Lego company doesn't use, but I showed you these pieces quite often in BlueBrixx sets. We use these pieces to reverse the building direction. So you can see here we got plates with studs on both sides. You got here 2x2 plates and a 1x2 plate. And yeah, when we place these things on an underside of a plate, when we connect the studs of one side of these reversing plates with negative studs of a plate, we get also studs on the other side on which we can now to which we can now interlock other pieces like this brick here. Step 1-43. I really thought that these times are over, but after quite a while we once again got here a BlueBrixx set with a missing piece. And this time it isn't a tiny piece which is missing, it's quite a big piece. You can see here that we are supposed to place 2 of these panels here. And yeah, these are all the pieces which are left to be placed in the final steps of the first building section. And yeah, as you can see, these pieces only include one of the panels which we need. We already have placed 2 panels on this little segment here, and now we are going to add 2 more panels, of which we can only interlock 1 because the other one is missing. And here this bigger segment comes with these 2 big panels. So I haven't done anything wrong. I haven't placed the missing panel somewhere where it isn't supposed to be. It is missing, and that's just annoying. You can't really build around such a big piece. It's really a necessary piece, and this is just awful. Well, but luckily, at least for we can at least continue now to complete this building section here, the first building section, and as far as I can see, also the second building section, the piece isn't necessary. It just sits on top of all of the whole build, but it will be necessary in the third building section when we start to build the elephant's back. That's just awful. Well, and this is a pro set. This also means that you can't really simply use a drop-down menu on the BlueBrixx website. This is possible with special sets. There you use a drop-down menu and select the missing pieces. But with these pro sets, you always have to take a photo or a screenshot in this case, a photo of the instructions and mark the missing piece. It's just annoying. And then you have to wait for weeks until the missing piece arrives because they order it in China, and yeah, it gets shipped from China to their headquarters in Germany. And from there, they will send it to you. It just takes weeks, and yeah, the whole process is just awful. I'm really angry right now. But well, I will continue with this building section and also the second building section, and maybe I'm lucky enough to find such a piece in my collection. We will see. Step 1-57. We have completed the first building section. And this is what our build looks like so far. You can see here is the big gap where the panel is missing. Well, then let's continue with the second building section and see which piece is missing in this section. Step 2-17. In this step we are using a piece which I haven't seen before, and I don't know if Lego uses this piece. I don't think so. You can see it's a 2x2 plate with attached slope, but this slope has got a very small angle. Here, have a look at this piece here for comparison. This piece is something we know from the Lego company, but this part here is absolutely new to me. Step 2-33. In this step we are using another piece which the Lego company doesn't use. You can see here that it's a inverted 2x2 tile, but the Lego tile is curved on the underside, and this piece here is completely flat. I think I already saw it before in some BlueBrixx Star Trek sets. Step 2-44. This is another of those plates with studs on both sides to reverse the building direction. This time it's a 1x1 plate. Step 2-48. This plate modified is also a piece which we don't use in Lego sets. Step 2-50. We have completed the second building section. In this section we have built the 4 legs and added them to the torso. Now it's time for the third building section, which might get difficult because of this huge gap here which there is because of the missing panel. Well, let's find out if we can complete the set without the panel. Step 3-6. Good news! It seems that the missing panel isn't an integral part of the build. I guess it makes the build a bit sturdier, but it isn't really necessary. So you can see we have built this little segment here, which we put in front of the gap of the missing panel. And yeah, the only thing left of the gap is this 1x4 gap up here. And when I had a look at some future steps, I saw that we cover up this whole area here with bigger plates, and I guess this means that we won't have to stop the build because of the missing panel. Yay! Step 3-89. We have completed the third building section. And yeah, we have added a lot of stuff to the sides of the elephant. While doing this, we had to pay a bit attention because if you press too hard, I guess it might happen that these side walls of the elephant just collapse, especially because I couldn't place one of the panels which was missing. But when you think a bit about the build, how it is built and where the weak points are, I think it is no problem to place all the pieces. I used to press from the top so that there is put some pressure on the pieces of the sides, and when you do this, then you can a bit more easily attach all this other stuff from the side so that not the whole sides of the elephant explode. And also I used to add the pieces on one side, and then I added the pieces on the top, these plates which connect the both walls, and so we get a bit of sturdiness into the build, and then I added the pieces of the other side later. Actually, this was an accident. I simply forgot to place these pieces here. For some reason, I skipped these steps in the instructions and only noticed it later when there were a lot of pieces left over. But this also seemed to have helped during the build to make the whole thing more sturdy during the building process. And now, even the missing panel isn't a problem any longer. The elephant is quite sturdy. In the final building section, we are going to add the elephant's head and also its behind. Step 4-11. We have completed the elephant's backside, and now it's time for the head. And of course, part of the head are the eyes. And I think it's quite cool that they marked this little inventory box here with this L and R above the eyes, so that we really pay attention to use the right eye at the right side. So this is the left eye and this is the right eye. Step 4-55. We have connected the head with the torso, but it might be that we have used an illegal building technique to achieve this. Let's try some more light. So, when we look here in this gap below this ball joint, you can see that there are some studs peeking out, which are not interlocked with anything. When we have a look at the instructions, you can see that we have placed the head on all of these studs here. And I think these 3 studs, or at least 2 of them, those are the ones which are visible when we look in this gap. And yeah, the head sits quite sturdy on this little segment here, but I think it doesn't interlock with all of the studs. And this is because of these slopes here. If we remove them, it's no problem to interlock the head also with the upper studs here. But as long as these slopes are here, they are simply in the way. They push the head away from the torso, and so we can't really interlock the substructure of the head with this segment here. Well, you can see that everything just stays in place. The head doesn't fall off, so I think it's fine, but I'm not a fan of these techniques. When you only interlock studs the halfway, it just feels wrong. Well, then let's go on with building the trunk and the ears. We need a surprisingly huge amount of pieces for this. I don't think there's anything else left to do. Huh? Well, let's go on. Step 4-94. We have completed the elephant. And have a look at this build. I think it's amazing how they were able to recreate the shape of such an African elephant with only using construction blocks. This is great. And the elephant isn't even displayed in a position where it is standing still. It's portrayed in a position where it is walking. Have a look at those legs. This is really well done. That's so cool. So, our elephant, of course, comes with huge ears. It's an African elephant. And here, have a look at the eyes. I think it's great that we got two different prints for the eyes. And then, of course, it got tusks and a trunk, which we can move a bit. Have a look at its neck, and yeah, the whole back part, it's amazing. It just looks like a real elephant. It's got a tummy, and of course it's got a tail. The shape is just amazing. I think the only thing which could have been done better is that we get to see here a big gap between the upper and lower part of the trunk, but I don't know how this could have been done better with just using construction blocks. Well, the bricks used for the set were totally fine. Of course, the Xingbao bricks come with really ugly injection holes on the stats, but luckily, really every single stat is covered, and so we don't get to see any ugly injection holes. The only stats which are not covered completely don't come with visible injection holes, because those are open stats. Once again, BlueBrixx used pieces here which are still protected by the Lego company, but since they do this all the time and they always get away with it, it is rumored that BlueBrixx has some kind of deal with the Lego company, and so this is alright. And for the set we also used several pieces which the Lego company doesn't use at all. That's always quite interesting, but I really prefer using standard pieces. I don't like these special molds. But all these pieces aren't visible in a completed build. They were just used for reversing the building direction and stuff like that. Well, I said in the introduction that maybe grandparents would like to buy the set for their grandkids, and I think they should reconsider this. I had a missing piece, and this was quite a huge piece. It isn't visible in the completed build because it was part of the inner structure, but it's always annoying when the piece is missing. Luckily, in this case, it wasn't really needed, but nevertheless, this isn't good. You should sell your sets complete. I guess that I was just unlucky and most of the sets come complete, but it's still annoying. I don't like it when I have missing pieces. And also, this set is marketed for ages of 10 years plus, but I'm not sure if this is correct. We have used building techniques here which weren't that easy. Well, the techniques themselves weren't very difficult, but you really had to know where to touch the build during the building process. It is important to know where you can put some pressure on the bricks and where not, because I think when you push at the wrong place at the wrong time, the whole build might collapse. And I don't think that this is something kids would have fun with. Maybe I just was an extraordinary clumsy kid, but I really can't imagine that this is fun for a little kid. But all in all, the set is really amazing. I like the result, even though we used some illegal building techniques, at least I think so. I'm not the biggest fan of how the head is connected with the rest of the body. But from the outside, it isn't really visible that these building techniques might be questionable, so it's all fine. Well, I'm not sure if I will add other animals to this elephant here. BlueBrixx also released a crocodile, I think, and a lion, and a rhino, and I think they also announced a giraffe. I'm not sure. Maybe I will add some other animals to this animal to display them next to each other, but we will see. Oh, and talking about kills, this of course is just a display model, not a playset. So you shouldn't touch the elephant too aggressively. But it's perfect to be placed in your shelf and to be looked at.